Alright, so here I have a pleated pocket for my zip front dress from the Gertie Sews Vintage Casual book. And you can see that I have done some stitching here along the top edge so that I can keep this pleat in place. It's also stitched here, but this just keeps the excess fabric still. And also, this provides a guideline for where to place my piping. Alright, so here's my piping, okay, and if you haven't seen piping on clothing before, I'm sure you've seen it on upholstery, like pillows, couch cushions, stuff like that. They generally use it to give the couch or give the pillows a finished look. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it out, use that as my guide. Okay, and oh, my scissors are way over there. There we go. Okay, so use that as my guide, and plus I leave a little extra. Now, when you look at the piping, you'll see that the fabric grain is on the bias. This is so that it can curve easily, because you're not always going to be putting this just on a straight seam. Okay, so basically all piping is bias tape that has been flattened out, and then they've put a cording in there of some sort, a cotton cord, folded it back over, and then used a zipper foot to stitch closely to that cord. That's all piping is. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to lay this piping right along that stitch line. Okay, and I'll zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing just a little bit better. Here we go. I apologize for the poor quality recording equipment. I'm still getting the hang of all this, and I still don't have tons of cash to spare. Alright, so there we go, and I will try to center that just a little bit better. If you want, you can use pins when you apply piping to the top edge of a pocket or other small pieces, but because this is such a short distance, I'm not going to. I'm just going to lay it there and deal with it. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is use that handy dandy zipper foot. Because remember, this is the one that allows us to get really, really close to what we're stitching. Okay? Alright, here we go. Back to business. And I'm going to move my sewing machine back towards me. Here we go. Alright. So again, I'm lining up that stitching on the piping with the stitching that's on my fabric. And I will just go ahead and put the presser foot down. Now, I will move the needle over. It's about as far as it'll go. Okay, here we go. Ooh, my finger's getting a little close to that needle. Please do not put wagers on whether or not my finger gets caught. I can guarantee you, you will lose. At least 9 times out of 10. Alright, so now that we've done that, what we would normally do is press it to the inside. But I'm not going to take all that time to do that just now. I just want you guys to see this lovely, lovely piping with which I am quite pleased. And let me reposition the camera and zoom out. There we go. What do you think? Alright, so that looks pretty cute. And what I'll do to keep this in place is I'll just switch my presser foot so that the needle is on the right side of it in that notch, and I'll move the needle all the way over to the right, and I will use that to just top stitch on here. Okay, so let me take just a moment and I will get that set up. Alright, so here we are, and as you can see, I've moved my needle all the way over to the right, just as I had done on the left, but I have shifted the presser foot over to this side and moved my needle accordingly. So again, with a straight stitch at regular stitch length, staying super close to where the piping and the fabric meet. This is how it's done, folks. Now, it is considerably more difficult to apply piping between two layers of fabric, as you would see on the edge of a pillow, but it can be done. You basically just use the same technique that I just showed you, minus the top stitching, and you just do it. It's really not that hard. You apply the piping to one side of the fabric, or one piece of the fabric rather, and then you lay its mate on top of it, right sides together, so that the piping is in the middle, like a sandwich. And you just stitch your seam with your zipper foot, taking care not to pinch the piping in it. And that is it. So here we go. It's very neatly stitched. Consistent distance away. And even though at this close-up zoom you can see the basting stitches on the piping, nobody is going to see that when I am wearing my dress.